Yes, good evening, my people. The title says it all. But me and Lex, we're not hiding from this thing. We're here.
Nah, man.
It's the
You
reaction.
showing up.
We're saying it with chest, but it's the reaction. Let's do it. Yes, good evening, people. Good evening. It's done. It's
Gumsa, man. You gotta help me here.
it's me, your
Gotta
boy
help me.
Gumsa, and it's my guy Lex. He's joined me. How you keeping, brother? You right?
I don't know. I've never had experienced so many emotions in 90 minutes. Like literally just from the kickoff, just being all hyped up, Arsenal starting off well, and then just folded.
It's it, yeah. I don't even know. Like you said, the range of emotion all day. I was stressed.
Yeah.
Like it was just up and down. But I'm thinking we're gonna go out there. We might get beat,
Mm.
but we put performance in or whatever in it. But my, it's just the way the manner in it. I think that's the problem. Is the manner we do
Yeah,
things.
it's the manner. It's the manner of the way that we lost. It's a North London derby.
Mm.
Even if you forget what's on the line, it's a North London derby, and oh man, I'm gonna start singling out players out here. But
Yeah, no. Let's just get into it. So, as like you said, I think
let's get into it, man.
first 15 minutes we looked good. Like I was happy the way he was playing. Actually, no. Let's even before we get there, lineup. What was your thoughts?
I thought, okay, it makes sense. Um, as I said before in the previous stream, I think that was the reaction after the West Ham game. If Ben White was fit, he starts for me. I know I'm holding before was doing okay, but he would start for me. Obviously, he looks like he wasn't fully fit. Fair enough. But the thing is, the way he set it up, you can't have Son against Sedgwick, and then on that side as well, you got Holding.
It was because again it was more. Yeah, as I said in the preview show, we spoke about do you swap back Tomiyasu and put him on the right? I said I would swap him because he's dealt with Son before.
Yeah,
Cedric's right-footed on the left, so Kulusevski's going to keep coming inside anyway. So Cedric should be all right out there. But for me, it was about put your best defender against their best attacker. I know Kane is the best striker, but Son is a big problem. So I would have gone with Tomiyasu. That's my one issue with Arteta this game. That was my only issue. If Ben White's not fully fit, I don't know why he's on the bench, but I had no issues him not coming on after that either.
yeah.
In case of actually, if we now haven't got Holding, like we have to be mindful of Newcastle because again, it still is in our hands. So I'm glad he didn't bring on White and then White break down. But
the thing, Son's the danger man.
Yeah, that was my issue. Put Tomiyasu back on the right.
Yeah, put him. You know how it was when they came to the Emirates, how Tomiyasu basically dealt with him. And the thing is, I thought that if we had Tomiyasu on that side, then Kane must have a brilliant game to get Son back in because without Kane's creativity, Son is not as a threat. He's still a threat, but he's not as much of a threat. And then the thing is, I don't know what Holding was doing. I don't know if he was trying to show that he's the big man or something, but he told me his game plan was just completely wrong. I just don't understand. And he's been the longest serving Arsenal player, and he knows what North London derbies is about more than any other that player for playing with that badge, and he lost it.
Let's get into before we go into Holdings. I think that is going to come up. And I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. From minute one, he was just touch tight with Son and trying to ruffle his feathers, which, if you manage it well, is fine. But we're getting to that. Let's go talk about the penalty incident first. I'll be real, I think that's soft. I know a few of my
Agreed.
friends were saying, but you thought the Man United one was different when Tellez went into the back of Saka. My thing with that one was Saka had control of the ball, he had possession,
Yeah.
and Tellez has wiped him out. It's soft. You see them a lot in the game. Players as ushering people under the ball. Silly by Cedric. Did he get caught a bit wrong side? I still think it's soft, but end of the day, I'm not a
That's
referee.
that's one of those fouls that you do at your home ground
Mm,
more than if you was to do it at their ground when you know you've got every fan shouting penalty.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the way that if you look at the amount of like kind of tackles that was going in, you could tell that things were building up. And at the same time, I wasn't surprised that the referee blew for the penalty. I felt like it was soft, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's,
My thing with them ones as well, it's if the player's gonna get on the end of the ball and he does it, then it's a pen all day. But if he's underneath it and the ball's cleared him, it's like, is he impacting the game? Do you know what I mean? And that's where, do you know what I mean? It's soft, but I can't even. It's just, to me, it's just stupid. It's a stupid goal to penalty to give away. Like, but it's this whole element of just because it's contact doesn't mean it's a penalty. And this is my issue with football. Sometimes it's like anytime there's any piece of contact, it's a penalty or a yellow card.
yeah.
And it's a North London derby. Referees have to manage these games a bit better. Yes, we don't want silly tackles in there, but equally, I'm saying this not as an Arsenal fan, but you don't want to take out the fire of the game. And I think that's what some of them yellow cards done. And then decisions like
I mean, that one could go 50-50.
yeah.
You see in a
The problem
different
we've done
game.
is we've given the referee a chance to make a decision.
Yeah,
That's the issue, isn't it?
exactly. They could go 50-50. See in a different game, and then the ref just blows it off for a goal kick. And you see it in games like this, the ref's got to make a decision. He's going to make a split decision, and you got the crowd on his back.
Yeah,
He's more likely going to go in their favour than
yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
I still feel like it's a bit soft, but you know what? I can't even blame that. I can't even blame that because
No, not at all. But
yeah,
let's get into it. Because again, 1-0, it is what it is. Now, for me, stay in the game.
yeah,
Stay in the game. Don't lose your heads. Keep composed. I said from minute one, Holding and Son were going at it. Holding got the better of a few, but he got rolled for the first one. It gives away a foul, which he's got to do once he's been rolled. Again, he's too tight. Son's rolled. He's got the yellow. But then when the game's kind of settled down a bit, a hopeful ball over the top, and he's blocked Son's run.
listen, you can't do that. You talk
Now,
about
for me, I think it's soft as hell to be a second yellow. If he raised his elbow, I could make a case, but he hasn't even raised his elbow or anything. He's literally just blocked his path. And it's like the referee's so quick to throw a yellow. And again, don't give the referee a choice, but it's so quick to throw a yellow at him. Like,
the thing is how I see it is that certain players and certain teams will get away with that. And you know, if it was someone like Liverpool, Man United, or maybe even City, they will get away with that. When you know you're number one, you're at Tottenham's ground. And the thing is, it's been a catalogue of fouls.
yeah,
So you know the referee is going to be watching everything you
like a
do,
hawk.
and
Yeah,
you've given him a reason. I would say it was soft. I look at it and I think, you know what, Son's obviously he's gonna make a meal out of it, but at the same time, you've got to use your just use your brain for a second. That ball, I don't see how Son's getting in. He was taking him wide.
That's the thing. It's running to the keeper, and this is where, for me,
Yeah,
the referee, it's poor officiating. Like, and again, I get everyone's gonna throw at me, letter of the law, this, that, and the other, but you have to referee games by refereeing the game, what's
the
happening
ref
on
should
the
put a
pitch.
bit of common sense into it.
Yeah, the ball, Son's not making that ball. That's going straight to Ramsey. So
No way.
Holden hasn't got to do anything. He hasn't raised an elbow. He's literally just stood his ground and blocked him off. And to me, even if people say it's an accumulation of fouls, well, since Son Holding got his first yellow, he hadn't made another foul. And there was it Mike Dean or whoever it is who talks after the game sometimes, he's already said that the accumulation, if I make 3 fouls and then get a yellow, my next foul is not a yellow. My accumulation should start again from the beginning. So I would just want to know whether it's the yellow card is for the aggression of the elbow or if it's an accumulation. Because if it's for an accumulation, it shouldn't be a second yellow because he hadn't made another foul since he got the first yellow card. So again, Holding's dumb for giving the referee an option. But to me, it's the softest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's, do you know what I mean? Yes, if you want to call it a foul, it's not a yellow. He's not a goal scoring opportunity. Like, it's so high at the pitch. It's dumb to do it, but he hasn't raised an elbow. He stood his ground. And the fact of the matter is, if the first half, when Son and Holding have tussled, Son's throwing an elbow back. Now, Holding should have made a mill. I don't think it's really connected with him. But again, VAR don't even look at things like that. And it's just the consistency of...
Is that when they were on the ground? And
tussling. And you see Son's throwing the left elbow at Holding.
Like wrestling or something like
Yeah. But again, I'm not saying that should be a red or not, but there's been so many instances in these big games where we have caught elbows. Mane's given us 2 this season. I think one on Tierney and one on Tomiyasu.
Certain players or certain teams, they get away with that. But especially how the season's gone, and we spoke about it in previous podcasts, especially about Xhaka as well. The spotlight is going to be on us. And especially a game like this, a magnitude of this game. So, you know what? I look at it and I say to the ref, use common sense. The ball's going out wide. So it's not like Son's in. He's going to get the end of it and he's through on goal. Use a bit of common sense. But at the same time, I've got to look at him and say, he's not like he's a young player that, Holding is a young player that is coming to fill in for Ben White. He's more experienced than Ben White. And I'm just looking and I'm thinking, at this game, why? Just why?
Yeah, I agree. It's giving the referee a chance to do it. Do you know what I mean? We've got to stop giving. I know me and Gunnar King are going back and forth on this before, and what he says is right. We've got to stop allowing the referees to make these decisions, take the power out of the referee's hands. Again, there was no need. It's so difficult because he didn't really do anything. He just stood his ground.
Yeah.
Just stood strong. Do you know what I mean? And Son's made a meal out of it. Let's be honest. But again, now this is a problem because we're down to 10 men and we're 1-0 down.
That changed the game. That changed the game completely. Because that everything, the momentum is now going with Tottenham now. You're 10 men down.
They couldn't have wished for anything better in it than asking to get a man sent off because all of a sudden.
That was the best thing ever. And the thing is, I felt like they didn't even need to do that much before that.
No. As I said, both. It's a soft goal, and then giving them, and again going down to 10, it's too easy. And this again for me is where it's players have to take responsibility for this. I know Arteta is going to come in for a world of stick, and to me that's unjust for him because again, I look at Arteta for lineup, system, and then maybe changes. Lineup, I think was correct, maybe apart from Tomiyasu moving sides.
He should have changed that,
And then, but again, even up to that point, it is what it is. And then after that, I'm looking at system wasn't broken. We started off really well. It's now down to individual mistakes. Even with the first goal, before the penalties even happened, we win back possession, and Xhaka gives it away so carelessly.
Oh, God.
So carelessly. And
I think he done it twice in a row, didn't he?
And then they are at our neck again. So we haven't even got a chance to even get out of the pitches. And again, it's just those little moments where it just makes such a difference.
Yeah, you just need to alleviate that pressure and just giving the ball away like you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, we didn't help ourselves sometimes.
No, definitely not. And then what we do, we get to the second goal and then we're bringing some comments and wait, we got someone else backstage.
What's going on, boys?
Good, James. So
just made it.
James, we're going to give you 30 seconds to just like we Alexis touched on the lineup, the penalty, and then the red card. So you got a minute. So line up first. Give me 10 seconds. What was your thoughts on the lineup? And you was on the screen as well when we was talking about.
Question. Tommy not being right back. I thought he was going to be right back. That was my only questionable on the lineup. That's the only qualm I had with it.
Yeah.
As for the pen was very soft. I mean, I'm not going to disagree that it was a pen or it wasn't a pen. Like, you can give it either way. I've seen them given. I haven't seen them not being given. Right, the ref decided to give it today. Like, it is what it is. But the Rob Holding incident, that was what turned the game for me. Like, you go 1-0 down, fair enough. We're still in the game. We were in the game until Rob Holding did that challenge. Like, he didn't need to. I get that he was trying to be on Son, but you can blame that on Rob Holding. You can blame that on Arteta for not having Tommy as a right back, for leaving it too open against Cedric. But it's inexcusable. You can't be doing that, especially after you've got a yellow. So I'm just disappointed in him, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So we're going to the second goal. It was a free kick. They've crossed it in. So again, I'm going back before the corner because I think this is a lot of the issues. Tomiyasu's under no pressure as he heads that ball. Again, Ramsdale maybe for me needs to be talking more and coming to claim that, because there's no one around Tomiyasu. He heads it out needlessly for a corner. And then from the corner, they've won the first header. And Nketiah's, I can't say he's sleeping. He's not a defender. Kane's a clinical striker. So you see it all the time when the striker's on the move towards the goal and the defenders are trying to clear out. Again, Nketiah's probably anticipating the first header is going to get cleared. So his body language is going forwards, whereas Kane's, the striker Kane is, he's looking to get in and score. So I'm not going to single out anybody for that. But as a collective, I think we should defend those things better. But again, even if that doesn't go in, I think Tottenham are going to blow us away. But what's your thoughts on the second goal? I think mainly the first set piece of Cam Ramsdale talk more. Does Tomiyasu need to just... Do you know what I mean? I think that comes from Ramsdale. He sees it. Tomiyasu could probably leave that and it runs out for a goal kick, or he could come and claim that. Where do you see kind of the issues with that goal?
I mean, I don't really blame Nketiah in that goal, because Kane is clever in that situation. He reads it. He's gonna gamble that he's gonna get that flick on in the far post. Obviously, Nketiah is just ball watching, but I mean, I don't really blame that. Well, I just think that because all these things has happened so fast, our structure and everything has just completely changed when that corner came, and obviously it's one of those ones where better defending, obviously it wouldn't have resulted into a goal, but I think things are just the way that this basically just happened. It's just one of those ones, really.
Yeah. James, what about yourself?
Yeah, Ramsdale could have done more. I'm not going to blame Nketiah. Look, he's trying to mark Kane. Like, he's man marking him. He could have played the offside trap with the rest of the team. As you said, he's not a defender. So in terms of the defensive scenarios, he's not really, unless he's in there on set pieces, which maybe he should have been in the actual training side of it. It's not his instinct to push up. You know what I mean? It's his instinct to man mark. That's like, I've played with strikers that have always said, look, if they're defending, they tend to mark on their player. Like, it's hard to have the defensive nous to do that. But my question for their goal, look, it was a good goal. They good corner, right? But to begin with, it should never have been a free kick to them. It should have been a free kick.
Saka got fouled.
Yeah.
Saka got crunched by Højbjerg, right? Got studied on the foot. Free kick to them somehow, right? Again, I don't want to blame this on the official, because I thought he was poor today, but it doesn't. He doesn't change this result really in his actions. I think the action that changed the game was the Rob Holding red card, as I said, but it was 2 yellows, so I can't complain about that. It's just one of those. This defeat reminds me a lot of the Man City defeat, not in the way we played, but in the way we capitulated, in the sense of we were in the game, we were fighting, we're actually quite dominant, and then in the space of 3, 4, 5 minutes, right, we threw the game because of ourselves. It was our own like self-destruction in a sense. So it was more disappointing, and I hope we can next season. If we learn and mature, this thing won't happen again. But
All right, we've got another guy. So it was only meant to be me on the street tonight, and you lot need therapy, so you lot are coming to join me. Canners, you got 2 minutes to sum up. All right,
I don't need 2 minutes.
I'm going to throw questions at you, and I need your quick response, real quick, because we're going to move on. So, first question is lineup. How would you feel about the lineup?
No problems. Not even with Tomiyasu at left back,
left.
whatever. No problems whatsoever.
Cool. All right, Cedric, penalty. Was for you a penalty, or was it soft but a penalty? It's when everyone's VAR. If the referee didn't give it, I don't think VAR overturns him, but the referee gave it and VAR don't overturn him. So it's one of those ones for me.
Pen all day. He was about to head that in the back of the net. It's one of those ones what we spoke about last season with David. You know, the penalties that we gave away last year, like the likes of David Luiz or whatever. I thought we learned from it in the sense that see what happens. Cedric knew he was in trouble. Cedric knew that Son was going to head that ball. You'd watch it again.
Because I said when I was watching it, I didn't know if he was going to get to it or not. That's why.
No. He was getting to that. He was getting to it.
Fair enough. Again, I'm watching it on a small screen today, so yeah, I'm going to take your advice for it. Even to Rob Holding. So there was an elbow thrown at Rob Holding when they was on the floor.
That should have gone to VAR as well because
I don't look at it at all.
That should have gone to VAR, and they should have kind of like had a look at that. Rob Holding should have been cute as well to make a meal of it, but he didn't. But no complaints with the second yellow whatsoever. You watch it, he goes for him like that.
He leaves his shoulder there.
He leaves his shoulder. Listen, that what he did because it was right on his face. It could have been red.
But again, is that his fault? His face is low.
No, listen, watch it seriously.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I just think if Son's the same size as him and he goes shoulder to shoulder, do we have the same argument?
Holding knew what he was doing.
He knows what he's doing, but to me, it's part of football. Like again, if you're a smaller player and you catch it, he's not throwing the elbow. That's the difference. If he's throwing the elbow,
yeah, but he knows what he's doing and he knows that he's going to do him something. I actually thought
it's the same as when Harry Kane. You know when Harry Kane backs in and drops. And knows the centre back's going to go over it. It's the same thing as that. Yeah, you know what I mean? With play.
I know what you're saying, but
he's Harry Kane. How is Harry Kane?
The thing is that I actually thought it could have been a red.
At first, I thought it could have been red. When I watched it back, I thought he hasn't thrown an elbow. He's literally just
but then there's a camera angle where you see he's actually turned into him.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is he hasn't thrown an elbow. So even that, it's a forearm. So if Son's taller than him, do we have this discussion? Because to me, he hasn't thrown.
Holding's had a shocker. He wanted to harness the spirit of the game he had against Diego Costa, and he's come out on a mission. He's come out on a mission to be aggressive. He really has because again he's got touch. And he failed. Some made him look stupid.
Yeah,
he played him. Some played him.
I can't argue with it. I just feel for me. Looking back on it, at first I was like,
then after that,
I watched it. Yeah,
I thought. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. I just thought he hasn't really thrown anything in. He's gone to do. He's gone to block him off. Now again, if Son's 6 foot something, he runs into his shoulder to shoulder. Son goes down, no one looks at it. But it's because obviously he's made connection with his face. But I don't think he's thrown any real intent. But again, I think the referee was very quick to just throw a yellow card at anything he could today.
The ref was terrible.
You can't manage.
The ref was shocking.
Like that.
The ref was absolutely shocking. He gave a foul against us when Saka got done fouled for some reason.
James was saying, yeah.
I don't. The ref was absolutely shocking, and I hate his little squirmy, slimy, smiley face. That ref, I can't stand him.
Yeah. What I agree with you is you can't give the referee the opportunity to make these decisions, but equally, I do think they're very, very soft. A North London derby for that to be a second yellow, as I said, it's not an accumulation. But we got to stop letting referees decide these matters. We've got to start managing it better.
Things have changed. I mean, I don't know. VAR would come into play and say, "Look, ref, you need to look into this."
Well, if it was a straight red, I think VAR would have had to look at it. But because it's a yellow, VAR can't now intervene, and that's. Again,
no, I'm saying if the ref didn't,
I don't think the ref. I don't think
as a tackle. I mean,
the thing is, it would have been up to interpretation. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I think if the referee doesn't,
if you played the game,
VAR even goes back and looks at that. I don't think VAR look at it.
I don't think VAR would.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, you've played the game. We before what's been going on between them two, you know what's going on, I just knew what Holding was doing.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to try and rattle him, and he did have Son a bit rattled in there, but
He
again,
did.
sometimes
At first he was playing him well at first.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't know when to back off, and yeah, again, you can't make any excuses for it. But officiating for me was poor the whole game. But I'm not even going to make it about that, because in the day we can only control what we can control, and that's what we do as a team, not what the referee decides to do. And he left the referee with an option to make, and the referee made his choice, and we can't. Do you know what I mean? Only Holding can. Do you know what I mean? Take this responsibility for that. Like,
do you know what? We didn't lose. The game wasn't lost when Holding went.
Yeah.
The game was lost a few seconds into the second half.
No,
when we let that third goal in.
I know what you're going to say. I agree with that. But at the same time, 1-0 with 10 men on the pitch, we have a good chance. 2-0, 10 men.
We had chances.
Yeah. But 2-0, 10 men.
Hey, we could have got a draw. Listen, 2-0, and we nick a goal back. I tell you what.
And that's
but
what
we weren't cute enough. We
exactly,
come out.
Do you know the Champions League final where Lehmann's got sent off, and everyone come out after to say we would have been better off letting them score the goal and having 11 men than going down to 10. And it's the same thing. 2-0 with 11 men, we still got more of a chance than 1-0 with 10 men, and that's do you know what I mean? That's the killer for me. It's the manner. But we're gonna say we get to halftime, 2-0 down. Let's get to some comments because they're flying in. Big Dogs is here. No excuses. We were woeful tonight. As soon as Holding was being a donkey with Son, he should have brought White on. Munzi's here. He's been here all week, to be fair to him. So I'm not going to get onto him. Beating Spurs isn't for everyone. Silver Fox, he's in his feelings. I don't want to hear Rob blasphemy unless you had the same energy for Gabriel. Tony,
come on. Listen, look, can I just put this to bed? Can I just put this to bed, right? Mr. Silver Fox, mate, sorry. You're a joke tonight. Seriously. Because
you spat his dummy out, any?
Listen, you got call it. Do you know what I mean? You just got to call it. Tonight, he was an absolute joke. The biggest game of the season. Literally, I've not felt all season, and you can't tell Mr. Silver Fox, that you've had this energy or this kind of nervousness for a game all season. Yeah. I tell you what, I've been thinking about this game, waiting for this game. And for him to do what he's done today in the biggest game of the season against our biggest rivals, mate, he's killed us. Absolutely killed us. And all right.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. It's at an important part of the season, time and stuff. And Gabriel, maybe he had a shocker against Man City and all that and blah, blah, blah. We got time then to kind of resurrect. But this against our biggest rivals, come on, man. Nah.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. Holding's good, but he's not that good.
Here we go. So Benchwarmers is here. Why did we choose this road to get into the top four? Yeah, there's another comment here. It is we only need to beat one of Palace, Brighton, and Southampton. So equally, if we do what we have to do in the previous games, this doesn't even matter this game. But obviously we didn't. And for Holding, yes, he's going to get a lot of criticism. But equally, if we had just done what we had to do against Southampton, it's a different ball game. But
we talk about the past though. But to be honest, yes, be real. Tottenham and United have had a shocker this season.
Yeah.
This is the only reason why we're in this top four. I'm going to be real. They've had a shocker. So the fact that when we lost those 3 games and we're back in this position,
it's how bad everyone else is
talking about the past, about if we got 3 points against Brighton. I don't want to hear it. When it matters, dude, finish it off. I don't want to hear it. You're just coming up with excuses.
No, 100%.
Yeah. I think. Do you know what? Let Tottenham have this little battle, right, in this war, because now we've got 2 battles left. We win those. We've won the war with Tottenham.
Anyway,
we'll be laughing at them.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, this is not how we wanted it to go down to the wire, but it's about. And again, even that's why I quite like Arteta's decisions with substitutions today. Because as soon as the red card happened, you're thinking, get Ben White on. But what he said is, do you know what? Damage limitation long term. If Ben White now gets injured in this game, we've now got no Holding, no Ben White. So I kind of
potentially no Gabriel.
1-0, 2-0 down. What's the point? Like, let's get back in with damage limitation. Obviously, we might have lost Gabriel, but again, that might be a precaution. Get him off as soon as we could. Once he felt it, it might not be as bad as it looks, but he's gone damage limitation. It is what it is. But let's keep getting through the comments. Benchwarmers has said Rob behavior was of a rookie. Penn was soft in his opinion. The Penn and Red knocked us flat. We move on to Monday. Big Dog said Penn was soft, but you react differently, and I think that's the issue. We just went head lost, didn't we? We didn't play the occasion correctly. Shell shocked, injury suspensions. Wow, you're throwing it all away on Monday. It's not thrown away yet on Monday. We can still bounce back. We're still in our hands, and that's all you can ask for in this.
Monday is going to be a big game. I think that's going to be a harder game than.
Listen,
Tottenham have to go again.
It's Newcastle's last home game of the season. They're going to want to give the fans a good send off.
They've got nothing to lose.
But again, equally, I know Burnley have had a bit of a bad little slump, but they need to put something out the bag as well. So it's not a foregone conclusion Tottenham are going to win that. Say sorry?
They'll probably give Tottenham a better game than us today.
They've got more to play for than Newcastle do in a certain sense. You know what I mean? So just look after us, innit? Just give us a little penalty and everything's there, boy. Just look after us, Willock. So Silver Fox, he's lashing out. Penalty was soft as our fan bases was Gabriel. He is so touchy. Oh dear. Barbados MUFC. I ain't seen you for a little while, bro.
Isn't it?
We're looking for you. Don't worry about
that. We're looking for you, boy, from weeks ago. Especially after the 3-1, whatever it was.
That man got hit 4-0 by Brighton and want to come and talk to us.
And want to talk about Spliff.
Yeah, man. He's looking for Mr. Silver Fox. This is what he says here.
I'm gonna call what's his name? Oh, what was his name? Get his name up again, Mr. Barbados.
Barbados MUFC.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Rizla, boy, because him and his team always get smoked, boy. Call him Rizla.
Trust me, always getting wrapped up in this list, boy.
Always getting wrapped up.
Silver Fox loves me because I'm defending his boy. But I'm not defending him, but I do think the referee was just too trigger happy today with things, man. Like, it is what it is. He's going at United fans. Man United fans coming here to banter. Enjoy sixth. Rez has got a question. We're going to answer this a bit later, Rez. Do you still think we get Champions League? We'll answer that a bit later. Silver Fox has answered. He thinks we're going Europa. Boy, we'll see. Anyway, let's get into the second half. So, Arteta, what's the first thing you think he says when we get into the second half? James, I'm going to let you answer it. What's Arteta's words?
Don't fucking concede early. Keep your head. Anything of the sort of don't concede within the first minute and a half, please.
What do Arsenal go and do?
Keep tight and compact.
Listen, I was, as Candace said, right? There was chances in the first half and there was chances in the second half. I thought Odegaard had two great chances. One of them he should have put away, right? But when you're 2-0 down, as you said, it's extremely hard to come back with 11. Even harder with 10. But then you're like, well, here you go, son. We know you're chasing Golden Boot, right? So there you go. You're one behind Salah now, right? So I don't know. It was just because I was watching it. I was watching it with my manager at a sports bar, right? Bad choice. He's a Spurs fan. So he was loving life, and I'm like, look, I think we're still in this as long as we don't concede within the first 5 minutes. It's funny, right? Because he called it on the way there. He said, look, Arsenal going to get a red card, and I said, fine. Harry Kane's going to score from a pen. So we it's so obvious about this North London derbies. What's going to happen? But again, it's just disappointing. Like, there's no need to be giving that kind of a goal away. It's just sloppy defending in the 6-yard box, and we've been so solid at defending. I think this season, on occasions where if we're playing in a block, we're fine. I'm not afraid that we're going to get broken down. And I don't know, the occasion. I think it's just naivety within the squad. We've said this throughout the season. And it's something I want to see next season addressed, because look, every benchmark, apart from getting Champions League, when the games have gone against us, well, we've needed to go, okay, look, we need to beat a big team. Okay, look, the pressure's on us. We need to win. We faltered. And I feel like it's a thing with the squad being young, naive, whatever it is, right? But I feel like that's what caused us to concede the third. Like, we just didn't look right.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like I get what you're saying. It's when we seem like to get some steam behind us, we then fall back again. And again, we can say it about all of them because Tottenham are the same. We lost 3 in a row. Tottenham now should be running away with it, and then they hit 2 games in a row where they didn't get a shot on target. With that third goal, am I clutching at straws? Where I'm saying, is there a foul on Gabriel by Harry Kane? If Harry Kane's, the touch has got away from him, and if you see him, he pushes Gabriel's going, but Kane's got it all over him and pushes him off, and do you know what I mean? Then the ball falls. So
I'd want my striker to do that. And again, it's them little margins where we don't seem to get away or get what certain decisions like 2-hand push on thing. Again, we should defend it better. Then again, even Son's finish is very cute because everyone thinks he's going to shoot hard, and he's almost just pushed it into an area. I don't even know how he's managed to do it the way he's done because we've gone to trying to block the shot on the floor, haven't we? And he's kind of it's a very neat finish from him. Like he's just stabbed at it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was just
it's just too easy.
It seemed like everyone had stopped.
Yeah, it's like 7 men behind the ball, but no one's near the ball. Like even when Kane's touch, it's like it's got away from him. Someone's got to be on Kane's toes there. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's not what you need when you come out for the second half. Lex, any thoughts on that third goal?
Yeah, I thought Gabriel got rolled a little bit too easily by Kane. Obviously, Kane, as I said, Kane's smart in those situations. It's just a bit strange because I thought the way that Son finished it, I thought that we'd get the block in. Obviously, it was a good finish at the end. Obviously, that was it. 3-0, 10 men. As I said, 2-0 down. We had other chances. I thought we could be in there, but 3-0 down. I think that was
3-0. The shift, the shift changes, isn't it? Because you then think, "Fuck, how bad can this get?"
Yeah. To be fair, to get out at 3-0, it then was just like, you know what? I'll take that. And again, it's about regrouping. Like the good thing is the silver lining is it's still in our hands. It's not now like we drop into 5th and now we're relying on Tottenham to lose a game. We just have to get 6 points from the last 2 games to secure our
But these are going to be the hardest 6 points of your life, I tell you.
It's going to be a battle. Is there any positives in this game from you tonight? I've got one, but let me see if you lot got any positives.
Martinelli, for me, looks like a different player. In the last couple of games, he's been absolutely outstanding. There was a point in the first half when before Tottenham scored where the ball came over and he ran into it and his touch was just sublime. Even the Tottenham, you could hear the kind of from the Tottenham supporters.
He's already tried to cut it back in it, and it just
you heard the crowd go, "Oh
yeah,"
and you know then that's a player. Do you know what I mean? For me, I think that's a positive, and I think he's now starting to go up into another level. I know you said positive, but I'm a little bit worried with Saka. I would have taken him off and just put Pepe on just to kind of preserve him.
Or Smith Rowe. I would have put Smith Rowe on at them stages.
Yeah.
Martinelli was playing a lot better than Saka. I don't know why.
100%. Yeah. 100%. Martinelli, you can't drop him. You can't drop
Martinelli. He was pissed.
No, but bigger picture, and that's what you got to look at, really. Bigger picture, save him.
And I think where the formation's now a bit more, you're going to have to change up. People are going to have to tuck in a bit more. You know Martinelli's going to work hard. But again, positional now, the Saka. Again, because sometimes we was dropping into a 5. Saka then was wing back. I'm not defending it. But for me, I would have kept Martinelli on. Or maybe both of them would have come off for me and just saved their legs for Monday. But yeah, I think Martinelli has got a big part to play on Monday. And maybe that's some of the thinking behind him coming off. James, any positives for you?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna be blown away by this Spurs performance. Look, they were good, but they weren't fantastic. And maybe I'm gonna be called deluded or whatever just because I'm an Arsenal fan and it's Spurs, right? But mistakes happen that cost us this game, and it wasn't for Spurs beating us, playing us off the park, right? It was our own undoing that caused them to have this advantage. And they took it, fair enough. They beat us on the day when they were better. But we did create chances and we were decent in patches of the game, even with 10 men. Martinelli looked really good. Felt Odegaard was okay today. Nketiah was good in terms of the early game when he was pressing. I like what I saw. And I think there is positives. Like, again, it's in our hands, right? And as I said in the WhatsApp group, if we don't win these 2 games, we don't deserve to be in the Champions League.
100%.
That's it, right?
Mm.
You get in the Champions League through merit. So if we're going to get into the Champions League, we need to do it ourselves. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm not stressing. On to Newcastle, and I'm not even putting it past Spurs that they played well against us, played well against Liverpool, right? They still got to beat Burnley. Burnley are a difficult team for them to play just because of how they set up. They're very.
The thing is, if Tottenham score in the first 10 minutes, it's done.
Yeah. Well, I'm not putting my hopes on Burnley beating Spurs, right? Because it's in our hands. At the end of the day, we do our job, we get UCL. If not, we go again next season and improve. But that's my mindset. At the end of the day, there is clear improvement within this team. There is clear upside within this squad, right? And we'll see it within the end of this season, and we'll see it next time. So I'm not stressing. Look, I'll put my hands up. Well done. You handed us an L today, but at the end of the day, if you hand us this out and we get Champions League, I couldn't give a fuck. So that's my mindset.
That's what I hear you, James. Lex, any positives?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as at ease as James is, to be honest. But I mean, if I look at the positives, yes, it's still in our hands. So it's up to us to finish it off. I thought Tomiyasu was kind of coming back to his kind of best. That was a big positive for me. Ben White being on the bench, obviously we're definitely going to need him for Newcastle. So looking like he's going to, be fit. So that's a positive. And the main thing is that it's in our hands. And even though, okay, we lost today, wouldn't it be still funny if we still get Champions League and they will just, all they have to talk about is, oh yeah, we beat you.
Yeah.
At our ground. But that's the main positives for me. It's basically just repeating what James say. If you're gonna get in the Champions League, you've got to finish your job. And if we don't get the 6 points, there's no excuse. To be honest, there's no excuse at all. So it's in our hands. We've got 2 games left. And yes, they're difficult games, Newcastle and Everton, but another positive, at least they're not City and Liverpool. What would you rather have? So
yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the positive for me, is that it's Newcastle, still a challenging game, but it's not like Liverpool away. And Everton might have already been secured by the time we play them. So, that's the positive for me. It's still in our hands.
Yeah.
What's your
that's the main
positive?
thing we've got to take
Thumbs
from
up.
it. Again, definitely it's still in our hands. So as James is saying, we don't really have to even watch what they're doing on Saturday, because if we do what we got to do, then we get the target, what we want to, what we set out for. So that's definitely the positive. And the other one for me was seeing Tomiyasu play centre back. We've spoken about it on numerous streams. Tomiyasu could fill in centre back. He could fill in, and yeah, he was solid today for me. And it shows what quality he's got. And even going into the next game, if Gabriel is out, then I've got no issues with Tomiyasu playing next to Ben
Who the
White.
fullbacks then?
If Gabriel, Cedric and Tavares has got to be that. Cedric and Tavares, they've just got to play again, rather than put Xhaka in there. I don't want to do all that nonsense again. You go with your naturals. Yes. Tavares is a natural left back. Cedric's a natural right back. You've got 2 guys who could play centre back. You put Xhaka back in midfield with El Nene, and you go again. Like, it's no. What we tend to do as fans, and this stream's been really nice. None of us are losing it, and you've got to do this. Why didn't we sign someone in January? All that malarkey. Like, it is what it is. We've got what we got. Work with it. We've got in this position with what we've had, so don't lose control now. Let's just take the L. We've taken L's before and we've bounced back. Let's bounce back again. And
that's the only thing I'm a little bit nervous about is when we've lost a game, we don't lose 1 and then bounce back. Normally we lose 1 and then 2 and then maybe the third, and then we got no choice in this one. But we got no choice but to.
We've got no choice, and you know what? It's a young team. Don't get me wrong. I know teams are going to get better around us, but it's a very young team. And again, the recruitment wise, again, when you watch someone like Tomiyasu play, we will get better as well. So it's not like we're not going to buy again this summer, and every other team is going to go and do what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's just touching distance. I think that's the issue. It's touching distance, and it like
Can smell
it's
it.
there. Yeah, it's still there for us. But again, luckily, it's still there for us. It's not now out of our hands. It's still in our hands. So we've done the hard work at West Ham to put us in this position to allow us to lose this game and still have destiny in our hands. So we just got to go for it and just stick together. And do you know what I mean? We get an extra day's rest. Then Tottenham they've got to go again Sunday. Yes, they're going to be buoyed with, again, they've had 2 good games recently. Got a draw against Liverpool, win against Arsenal. So their tails are going to be up. But again, it's not an easy game against Burnley. Are they home or away?
Home.
Okay.
They're home against Burnley and away against Norwich. 3 points.
So that
Norwich.
one's, for me, is an easy one. But the Burnley one, Burnley are going to sit there and try and frustrate them. And it's going to be on them to try and break it down. And it is what it is. But again, all we got to do is just focus on ourselves, go up to Newcastle, do what we got to do, and then back at the Emirates. But guys, do you want to do a quick player? I didn't want to do a player ratings today. I don't want to do it. I just feel
the only 2 players that come out of any kind of like semblance of kind of like, okay, you did okay, was Tomiyasu and Martinelli.
Yeah, agree.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. We've got to stop leaking goals, by the way, as well. We've kind of lost. I don't know whether it's coincided with Holding coming in, Tony. But we have been shipping goals in.
We kind of concede in bunches, don't we? We can go 2 games without really conceding, and then but we have these games where we do just fall apart. We did it against Palace. We've done it against Liverpool. But you know what? Sometimes I'd rather that the game, if 1-0 and 3-0 don't make much of a difference today. So actually, I'd rather us do that today, and then we get back on it against Newcastle and don't concede in that one, rather than conceding a goal every game. That's when it's dangerous territory, isn't it? So
I'm trying to think. They didn't really open us up today, did they?
I don't remember Ramsdale making many saves.
There was one chance where Son had where he should have probably done better. It was just, I think Session cut it back to him in the box. But
the thing is though, it's like they didn't the goals that we scored against them at the Emirates. They didn't score them kind of goals where we cut through them.
Their third one, I'll give it to them. That was a wicked pass into Kane, like cut our whole midfield out, and then obviously.
But even then, it was elsewhere. It's still a little bit lucky that Gabriel's clearance out of all the Arsenal players in the box went to Son.
Yeah. I think
a bit of luck involved.
Good,
bit of luck.
Yeah.
But listen, I can. Am I disappointed? Yes, but the thing is, though, it's like. You're right. There are positives, man, and look, it's fashionably late.
Listen, he can talk to himself because I'm gone, mate. No, let me bring him in.
This is a quick. I'm 10 minutes in, brother, and I'm out, guys. So whatever you lot, right?
No, you got less than that. I must say the trim looks fresh.
Yeah, it looks fresh. Is that a fade? Let's have a look. Is that nice? You got a fade going on there.
It's so fresh. I've got to give you the close up.
Yeah, done though. At least something's fresh tonight.
Easy, right? Nigel, give us your thoughts. We've kind of discussed everything. So you got 5 minutes. Just give me a breakdown on the goals, the red card, the refereeing decisions,
and
just
Rob Holding,
all of it.
Boy, I would say the referee definitely ruined the game. At the end of the day, it's a North London derby, for goodness sake. So like. He needs to understand that the passion is going to be in the game. For me, it wasn't a penalty, personally. But with that being said, I don't believe that we really brought it to Spurs before that. To be honest, we weren't really in the we were playing all right, but we weren't really doing anything.
It was nothing. It was the first round of a boxing fight where you just feeling each other out a bit.
And to be honest,
jab, just jabbing.
Exactly what I said was needed today, where everyone got at me, and I'm sure people are going to laugh at me when I say it now. Laka's supposed to start this game, bro. Laka's supposed to start this game because we need to bring players like Martinelli and Saka into the game. He would have been perfect in a game like this. His record in the North London derby, I think every season he's been at the club, he scored at least 1 goal each season, bro, against them. So not to draw for that sort of experience with the pressure on away from home, for me, it's crazy. But with that being said, 3-0.
It's one of them ones. I hear exactly what you're saying, but you can't take away. You see where the game was lost, then if we come out of that game losing 1-0 80th minute, we didn't create much. I could say I hear you totally, but even with Laka in there, don't excuse for the stupidness that happened with some of them guys at the back. Again, the penalty, the red card, you kind of take it out of your own hands, then, innit? So,
Like,
but yeah, what's your thoughts on the red card?
The red card, yeah, definite red card. To be honest, for me, like, I just think Rob's stupid. He's stupid. Like if he didn't need to lift his elbow. If he just moves his body,
that's
then
the
he's
thing.
got a chance. I don't know why he lifts his elbow. It's just ridiculous.
But I don't think it was elbow. It's more his shoulder. I don't think his elbow went up. It's more.
No, but he kind of lifted
the whole thing moves up.
It was the move.
Yeah, watch it again, Gumsa, and then you'll see. And then when you see it from the camera angle, you say, "Do you know what? That could have even been a red."
A straight red.
I wish it was a red because I might have looked at it, but cha.
They would have said, "Go to a yellow."
What?
Yeah. What about the free kick that led to their corner? The free kick on Saka. It looked like Saka got fouled, trod up on, and they gave a free kick.
Yeah. That. Bruv, the referee tonight was shocking. Like basically we were up against the Premier League tonight. The Premier League wanted to go to the wire, innit? Like it's not exciting if we end it tonight, innit? So they have to make it go to the wire. So boy, the way they positioned this game was a winner takes all kind of thing. Like that's why they left it so late in the season for it, because they wanted it to be a blockbuster decider. And now with Spurs winning, it creates more attention to games. So it makes sense. Finally, Barbados MUFC is here, bro. We're still in fucking 4th place. Where are you? You're not even embarrassed. You're not even embarrassed.
Hey, just call him Rizla. Just call him Rizla, man. His team always get wrapped up.
Bro, this guy,
get fun.
The theater of dreams, bro. The theater of dreams.
His team gets wrapped Barbados. Up like roti, I'm gonna call him Roti, bro. His team get wrapped up like a roti.
Get wrapped up.
The vet settings, this big Phil, bro. That's what I'm calling you.
Roti, you know. Roti Barbados.
Old Trafford, the brothel that everyone can score in, man. Do you get me? That's what they're calling Old Trafford. So I don't know what Phil's here doing. But yeah, that's me, man.
And just last thing from you, Nigel, is there any positives? Any positives to take from that game? So I think a few of us have called out a few little individuals. Tomiyasu filled in at centre back for a good proportion of that game and looked all right in there.
The biggest positives of this game is we're still 1 point clear and it's still in our hands. That's the only positive from this game. It's a shocker. Like at the end of the day, I guess our form has led to the situation where even with a loss today, it's still in our hands. So that's the positive of today. So, and it'll be great. Spurs, they won the battle, but we win the war. I'm okay with that, innit? I'm okay with that. So we've got to get the job done now.
And I think that's the best way to wrap it up. So, guys, thank you for jumping on. I thought I was going to be here all alone tonight, and my band of brothers showed up for me. Great little five-a-side team over there. Like, we're looking good. And you know what? Again, that just shows, this is why I do love the Armory TV, because it's not all doom and gloom, innit? Like, it's a nice take on it. I can imagine what some channels are going to be like today. I can only imagine what some doofuses are going to be saying, sack him and get this and that. But you know what? It's still in our hands. Let's go again on Monday, and hopefully these guys can, do you know what I mean, rectify a bad performance. Hopefully we can rise back up again. So on that note, wait, I've got to get that comment off the screen. That can't be what people see. UFC on there. For real. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you keep liking, subscribing, sharing the thing, comments below. I'm sure I'm going to be in the comments talking all night long tonight because I ain't done with this game. But yeah, guys, enough love. We'll see you for the Newcastle preview, and I'm sure you'll see us again Monday evening. Peace.